Where has my estrogen gone? Oh, where can it be? I was once young and fair, and now I sprout facial hair. Oh, hormones, won't you come back to me?
Love that. That's awesome. I think I'm going to steal it from you.
You can have it. Hey, this is Nilofer Safdar, author, summit host, coach, healer, and genius activator. And you're tuned in to the Genius Activator podcast. I'm here to help you discover your inner genius and live your whole life in the boundless realm of genius. And today's guest is Jeanne Andrus. Am I pronouncing it correctly, Jeanne?
Actually, nope. I should have gotten this real quick. It's Jeanne Andrus.
Jeanne Andrus.
I live in Cajun country. We use the French accent and I love it.
I love it too. So today's guest is Jeanne Andrus, the menopause guru. And when she began her menopause journey, she didn't realize that the hormonal changes of menopause were causing her anger and depression. Her symptoms, with no effective relief, nearly destroyed her life. So when she learned what a difference managing her menopause through natural methods can make, she developed a passion for helping other women shed their own symptoms so they can open the gateway to better health and more energy and a more fulfilled life. Welcome, welcome, Jeanne. I'm so excited to have you here with me today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited about talking with you today.
And I love how the internet brings us all so close together. You in Louisiana, me in Abu Dhabi, and we get to have this beautiful conversation.
Amazing, isn't it?
Isn't it? Wow. So, Jean, please share a little bit about your genius activation story and how did you come to what you do now?
So my life prior to roughly my 48th birthday, let's put it there, was pretty much the normal story for a quote modern woman. I got married out of college. I had a baby in my mid-20s. Yeah, I only had one, but he was really pretty important to my life. And I was raising my son and living with my husband. And I had a job. I was a computer analyst and I was doing really, really well in my career. I was moving up. I worked for a major software developer in the United States as a traveling consultant, helping implement their software around the country and potentially around the world. And I was good at what I did. I was a good geek. But somewhere around my mid-40s, menopause started changing who I was underneath. And I didn't really realize what was going on. But depression and anger were really my two big symptoms. They're not for everybody. Some people start with the hot flashes and the itching skin and the mood swings and all of the things that weight gain and things that we think of when we think menopause. But there's a lot of emotional and mental symptoms as well, and changes that are happening there. And for me, it was this world where I was no longer happy being the person that I had been for years. And so I wound up quitting a job I liked. I wound up losing my marriage. I wound up unhappy with myself and my body. And I wound up just feeling kicked out of my own life. And I wound up basically screaming to myself, I just want to be myself again. Well, it turns out that was the trigger to getting healthy, realizing that I needed to be able to put myself first in my life at this time of my life. Now, when I was younger, I had a reason to put other things first and to take care of other people and other things, especially my son first. But as I became more independent, as he became more independent of me, and I became really able to make myself and what I needed and wanted going forward the central part of my decision-making process. That doesn't mean I totally disregard other people, but it does mean that my needs come right there with everybody else's needs. And for women, that's a big shift. And I see it happening over and over and over again as I watch my clients, as I watch other entrepreneurs, as I watch other women throughout the world saying, wait a minute, why was I putting so much onto what other people said and cared about and wanted out of me? Why was I never the first in line? Well,
It's almost like, wait a minute, when did I disappear from my own life?
exactly. And I can tell you exactly when that started to happen was the moment that estrogen started taking over your life back in puberty. And for 30 years or more, you live in that cycle of estrogen, progesterone up and down. And it's telling you, yes, raise babies, grow careers, grow a home, whether or not you have children or not, whether you decide to have children or not, that estrogen is pushing you to be more social, more in the world of caring about other people's feelings more than your own. And so when you come into this middle part of your life, life says, hey, wait a minute, you can be important too. You can grow yourself. You can be your own, as you say, genius for the rest of your life. And it's not something that ends. So that, for me, that was almost, 18 years ago that happened. And I'm still living my best life. You and I just talked about some of the things that I do with the part of my life where I'm not working with my clients or writing my books or speaking on stages or talking to women in podcasts. I now get a choice. I get to choose between doing that, going to see my grandkids, which I did 2 weeks ago, or maybe going to Cancun and going diving for a week, which is what I'm doing next week. So I get my opportunities to look around and say, what is it that I want out of this world? And I get a choice. I get that.
Wow, that is amazing. That is amazing. So, what was it that you started doing, once you came to that point of, leave everything and now I want to find me. So what were some of the practices that you took on that allowed you to make the shift from them to me?
Excuse me, I'm still waking up. I still got a little bit of that leftover cough from a cold. So for me, it started with the physical. It started with taking care of my body, which I hadn't for a very long time. So food, exercise, learning how to sleep again, ditching the stress that was always elevated in my life through the job that I did and the lifestyle I had, and the marriage that was falling apart. There was a lot of physical stuff that started, and that's where I actually start with my own clients is because the symptoms can be the piece that are telling you that you need to take care of your own life first. And so you start with health. You start with retrieving and going back into your health. But that for me led to a self-development journey. So typical, I hate to say typical, but the self-development world of law of attraction and understanding the laws that kind of make the universe work, and this sense that as you pay attention to something, so I call it the law of attention. It's when you put your attention on something, it grows. So by putting my own attention on my own self, I grew. I grew to be the person who could do things that scared me. I could do things that excited me. I could do things that made me happy. And I could make that choice because I had that sense of who I was.
And I think it all began with that one choice of actually choosing you.
Choosing me. And it came when my divorce happened. My husband was not willing to do the work, put the work into making a difference in our lives, because one of the things that I kind of didn't say is that our relationships also change. And as we move into this period of our lives, our expectations of other people change as well. So our relationships aren't the same, and our own need to be in a relationship that works does bring us to the point of either reestablishing those relationships or removing them from our lives. And that's what happened to me. Was I removed this relationship and allowed myself to choose being happy, choose myself.
So, I'd love for you to share, why and how menopause opens us up to manifest more and live full out.
So, as this gets into a long scientific explanation that is in my book, and if you've heard me talking, you can guess what the title is. The title of my book is "I Just Want to Be Me Again." And if you really love the science,
I love it.
If you really want the science behind it, go out to Amazon and grab the book, and or my website, menopause.guru, will lead you to wherever I'm selling the book right now. And so the science, what the science is estrogen is our connector hormone. So what it's doing is it's telling us to create a safe space for our babies, for our children. And that goes way, way back. I mean, this way predates feminism. This goes back into our history as humans, into our hunter-gatherer phases, and 10,000 years, 20,000 years ago. And what happened was women needed to have a safe space to raise children for 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 years before they were fully independent. So women needed a community in which to do that. And I call it Eve's gift to us, because what it is this reduction in estrogen means that we no longer feel this overwhelming need to be part of this bigger group. We get to choose how we want to be in that group. And so with the diminishment of estrogen, even though it comes with the stray facial hairs and the weird symptoms, and I will not ever say that any of those symptoms are all in your head, or that any of those symptoms aren't annoying and frustrating and crazy making. but what it does give us is the opportunity to say, look around and say, what is it that we want? And for so many of us, for the first 30 years of our adulthood, what we wanted was that family and those children and that job and that career. And now we get to say, what's our passion? What has all this led to us? What did we put away when we were children and becoming young women? What did we put away when we were raising our children or growing our career that we didn't get a chance to do? What did we set to the side? Was it art or music or sports or mission work? I know people who come into this time of their lives and say, I have a passion for volunteering and I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. I know one woman who created an orphanage. She is now the legal guardian of over 250 children in South Africa, in Eswatini. It's one of the break-off republics or whatever in South Africa. And that was her passion. She saw it. She saw a need and she went out and did it. And it's made her incredibly happy, but she's in her 50s. Other people, I know people who've just shut down careers and gone off and been artists. I have friends who've shut down the rest of their lives and become writers. For me, it was adventure sports for a long time. That was what I did besides this whole passion for changing women's lives and giving them permission to manifest their best lives.
So
That
I'm
makes
just
sense.
curious, do men go through menopause as well?
Men go through something called andropause. But it's different. For women, it's almost, it isn't a complete light switch. It's this crazy making time here, and then the estrogen turns off and they're a different person, really. They're themselves.
They're free.
They are themselves, but they are like, I call it you 2.0. And it's like you get a chance to rethink everything. Men go through a gradual lessening of testosterone over a period of decades, from their early 40s through their 70s, but they never completely lose that ability to make babies, as we've seen from some celebrities in the last few years. But so what men go through is sort of a fear of losing that virility, which is less. Women open up. I think men kind of close down, if you will. Yeah. So for women, it's the opportunity. And it may even look a little bit the same sometimes when you're like me and love to do crazy things. But for men, it's sort of this, oh, am I going to lose out to the younger competition? Whereas for women, it's like the competition is gone. The competition around being the queen bee is gone. And we get a chance to open up, whereas men are like looking around waiting to see if somebody's going to surpass them. Does that make sense?
They're waiting for the next alpha male to take over the pride.
Yep, here comes Simba.
Here comes Simba. Love it. And so the other thing I wanted to ask you was, did you start diving after your menopause, or was that before?
So I started diving, I was probably in perimenopause when I first tried it. I did some crazy things before menopause. I fell in love with skiing in my 20s, and my son was raised as a ski racer. So I spent a lot of time on the slopes, but I think my first dives were in my mid 40s, and perimenopause was already in the distant in influencing me. And that's one of the things we don't know is how it actually happens. I do a huge amount of education because we don't learn about menopause the way we should. And so we're constantly, oh, wait a minute, here I am at this point in my life. And if I look back, I can see that perimenopause was actually influencing me from my mid 40s, early mid 40s, when hormonal changes were starting for me, and yet I didn't know it.
Yeah, while you were talking, I could really see, and I was like, "Oh my God, it was due to the peri or the whatever kind of." Oh, I didn't know that was happening, and so it's really, yeah. So definitely get your book.
Absolutely. The book is really a sort of, I call it my primer on what perimenopause and menopause are all about, because I think we need that. And it's sort of it's now, I just published the second edition. It's now over 200 pages. And it's like, this is the bare minimum you need to know. And I do a larger class with my own clients, and it's all about the same stuff, only a much deeper dive into what you can do naturally to reduce your symptoms and take hold of your own life and move forward.
So, would you like to share with us a few tips? Some of the natural things that we could be doing.
So, I think the biggest thing I can say is that estrogen, every cell in your body has receptors, or allows estrogen to come in and help with cellular processes. So women are designed to work better in the presence of estrogen. So as estrogen depletes, and progesterone to a lesser extent, our bodies change. And so we must support ourselves, choose healthy habits, choose good, natural as much as we possibly can foods to support ourselves. The same thing for exercise. Picking the right exercise for you is key. And there are at least 5 other major hormones in our bodies that are affected. The way they work is affected by estrogen. So as estrogen fluctuates and diminishes, we need to support those as well. So the number one tip I tell my clients is to breathe. And so I use a technique that I call 4-4-4 breathing. Some people use 4-4-4-4 breathing, which is box breathing, and can be looked up that way. But you inhale for 4, you hold for 4, you release for 4. And as you concentrate on that counting, it allows you to breathe deeper, relax, and it turns your mind to just that counting. So you stop all the chatter and all that crazy making that's going on in your brain. So using 4-4-4 breathing is a technique I use for going to sleep, going back to sleep, relaxing during the day, and also to stop anxiety in its tracks, because anxiety is something that changes and shows up because of all the hormonal changes that are happening underneath.
I love it. And breathing is something which is so simple that you can do anytime.
Exactly. I got stressed in the car the other day. They redid all the roads around here and they're crazy. And I'm sure Abu Dhabi is probably, Louisiana probably has nothing on a big city. But it was crazy making to me because I'm not used to it. So I was sitting in the car and I'm like, these people, and I started breathing. I just started with the counting. And no, you don't have to close your eyes. Please don't when you're driving. But you can just count your breath. You can just take in a deeper breath. And as the oxygen goes to all the cells of your body relaxes because it says, I've got enough oxygen. I'm obviously not running from the lion. Back to Simba. But that's how our body knows, is that we are more relaxed when we are fully oxygenated, because when we're in fight or flight, we don't have enough oxygen.
Absolutely. And even before you start to breathe, if you just observe your breath when you're in that stress, you will notice that you're barely breathing.
Yes.
That's
all up in here.
It's here. You've stopped breathing, you're breathing shallow. So the moment you realize that, immediately, the first thing is the awareness, and the next thing is that you're going to breathe. That itself is going to shift things for you. And then, hold on to your stress while breathing. I double dog dare you to.
And if you find it, I find it in my shoulders and my neck, and you just let it go. You can choose to just let it go. And honestly, so if you follow a lot of manifestation stuff, a lot of law of attraction, it's trusting in the universe. It's trusting in source. So if you're like this, you're not trusting. Pure and simple, relax. Let those shoulders go, drop it. And not everybody holds it in their shoulders and neck. Some people hold it in their belly. Some people hold it in their legs. Let it go wherever it is in your body. Just let it go and breathe. And give your body what it needs right then, which is almost always oxygen. And you're on your way to being able to trust in the universe and manifest whatever it is that you want for your best life. And it's all there for you.
And the other thing is that it's just a matter of practice. If this is one tool that you are influenced by, breathe, just practice it. And when you practice it right when you are in the middle of that stress, and that stress shifts, the next time you're going to just use it, isn't it?
Yep. So I tell my my clients to take a little piece of sticky note and write on it 444 and put it on their bathroom mirror, because when they get up at night, which we do because we have to go to the bathroom or we've just had a hot flash, you walk into your bathroom, you go to the bathroom, you look at the mirror, it says 444, or you just see the note. I can't see without my glasses, so you just see the note, you see it there, and you say, oh yeah, and you get back in bed and you breathe, and you count your breath, which gives your mind something to do other than worry about the fight you had with your best friend in second grade. Who knows what's going to come out in your brain at 3:00 in the morning. For me, it's like, oh, I shouldn't have said that to her. I can't. You have these weird.
Wait a minute, what am I thinking?
Or you think about the fact that you forgot to pack pack your son's lunch when he was in 5th grade, or whatever stupid thing your brain comes up with at 3 a.m, because it does. It's just random firing of stray neurons. But counting your breathing gives you a place to go that's not that's whatever stupid stuff, or thinking about what you have to do when you get up in the morning, or whatever it is. You can just retune yourself and go back to sleep. And sleep is a wonderful thing. Sleep is truly a wonderful thing. It's what really takes it allows us to get rid of our stress. It allows us to use our nutrition properly. It allows us to recover from whatever exercise we've done. Sleep is an amazing and wonderful thing.
Just a random thing. We can literally, replace counting sheep with 444, right?
Absolutely. Sheep are a pain in the butt. What do you do with them during the day? You have to feed them and clean up. Just count your breathing.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much.
There is wisdom. There is wisdom in the old counting sheep, and it's exactly that. It's like something that replaces allowing your brain to get way deep into its spin. Oh, and by the way, it's almost impossible to keep, if it takes 10 minutes, it may be almost impossible to count the entire time. And so your brain is going to say, oh, let's think about this. Just go back to the counting. As soon as you realize it, don't judge yourself. Don't put yourself down. Just go back to the counting.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jeanne. This was wonderful. I had so much fun, and more than fun, it was like a lot of aha moments for me, because I'm at that stage right now, 49.
Yes, you are.
I'm like, wait a minute, that thing, yeah, definitely. It's true. It's true.
So let me just give your listeners and you some place to go. If you are 49, if you are 45, if you are 56 and wondering what the heck is happening in your body, I have a diagnostic tool on my website. It's at menopause.guru/hormones. And you can set up an appointment to talk with me and do an assessment of your own hormones by symptom. And you and I will sit down and talk about where you are on your menopause journey and how you can use natural lifestyle changes to feel your best and get to your best genius zone.
Wow, that is amazing. Thank you so much, Jeanne. This was an amazing conversation, and definitely, I'm going to put the link in the description, so you can click the link and go have that diagnostic with Jeanne. So thank you so much for listening, you guys. And until next time, live your whole life in the boundless realm of your genius. I'm Nilofer, and I will see you next week. Bye.